This was it, the BIKC Local Final. One chance to qualify for regionals. I've been chasing this all season and tonight it all came down to one race. Could I win it or will I let it slip away? Stick around till the end because things don't quite go how I expected. Welcome back to Slipper Racing. Tonight's all about the BIKC Local Final here at Newcastle TeamSport. The format is simple, one practice, one qualifying, and a 15-minute race to decide who goes to regionals. Only the top 6 make it through, so there's no room for mistakes. Now, something different about the TeamSport tonight is we are doing the official track. So we're not doing the international track, so you may notice it's been a little bit different. So I'll quickly go over the lap with you in case anybody's got their regionals here. So as we come past this bend, this is technically coming into the last corner, which is a tight hairpin to the left, and this is the start finish line just before the green light. So down the ramp it is a flat out left here with again a flat out left. With this being speed 3 you will need to use your boost. Now we do come to a tight hairpin here which is going up ramp, so you need to make sure you carry as much speed as you can. Again, all the way around as if you're doing a loop-de-loop on yourself. Straight round to a hairpin, hairpin, hairpin. Then we come to this nice little straight to a very tight hairpin left, tight hairpin to the right with a nice long right hand corner, tightening up as we come into the next right. Again, back onto the coming into the last corner with a tight hairpin to the left. Now, you will need to be conscious of where you use your boost. The boost line is very different to the start finish. I already mentioned where the start finish line. Now the boost resets just at the end of this straight here, so you want to maximize where you use your boost. For example, you can get a lap where you are using your boost twice. So for qualifying, you normally see someone have one slow lap where they don't use the boost and one little bit faster lap where they should be using it twice, or at least have a lot more boost on that singular lap. Now we are just about to go on to our fastest qualifying lap. Now qualifying, there was 5/10 within the top 10. So as we can see, I'm just getting ready for my boost button as we come down the straight because I saved up this entire lap. As we go down the ramp, make sure we get fast left and I start using my boost immediately now so we can get a good run down the straight and try and use all of it up just before it resets. Again, making sure we hook this corner nice and tight, make sure we use all the track width, getting close to the barrier as we can, and again try and hit every apex. Now down the straight, little squirts of the boost just to make sure we can use it or most of it just before we get to the last lap. Again, you may see me just quickly tap the boost just to get that little bit out the corners, and again blitz the entire thing coming down this straight. Again, round the final corner, go straight for the boost just to that extra left to see if we can get that fast time. Now this time was fast enough to put me into 6th place with a 36.452, and as said, there is 5/10 between 1st place and 10th place. Now for the final, we are starting in 6th, so let's see exactly how we get on. Now we are starting somewhere a little bit different from our other videos, since it is the other track, 3 or 4 red lights, and here we go. Now we try and go around the outside. We haven't lost anything, but we do come to a tight left hairpin. We keep it all the way around the outside, trying to push him as close to the inside to make sure he gets a bad exit. However, since we are on the outside, we just get absolutely drenched in other karts trying to go around us. Now we do try and get a dive bomb up and to get that position back. However, Morgan's then done that on me, so then I've lost another position. So I think we're down to 9th right now from 6th. However, we can definitely make this up or indeed see exactly what we can do. However, we need to make sure it's fast. So we use a little bit of boost to pull alongside him there. Then at least we are now down to 8th position. 2 more and that puts us in the running for qualifying for the regionals. Now we need our head down. Morgan has been extremely fast, so we need to see where we can go. Now we don't know exactly where people have used the boost, how much people have left, but we need to make sure that we are a little bit conscious and be defensive. As we can see, Morgan's made another position there, so we need to try and keep up and get on his tail as he is moving forward fast. Since the karts have been battling in front, it allows us to catch up without having to use too much boost, so at least we've got a full blitz to try and get him into the last corner, which it was a little bit dicey. However, we made it stick and now we're catching back up into the runnings. So now we need to chase down Morgan, but again we have used all of our boost, trying to make that overtake, so we need to be conscious that he doesn't try and get the switch back on us, especially if he's got any more boost, if he wasn't expecting to go through. However, that was a nice exciting 2 minutes of the race and probably 13 minutes to go. It doesn't take long for the leaders starting to battle, which when they battle means the cars behind are going to get into a train. So we're back on the bumper of Morgan. Let's see if we can capitalise on this, but if I've caught up to him, it means the Karts have caught up behind me as well. Now, in situations like this, we've got to make sure that we preserve our boost as best we can, making sure that we save it for the right opportunity. We did think about going for an overtake down the straight, but considering the actual boost resets just at the end of it, it'll be fine to actually use it there. Now we can see the kart on the outside was exactly like me on the first lap, so we need to make sure we can try to get alongside, pushing that a little bit wide and then just force him or edge him into the barrier to see if we can make that squeeze. Now we can see he might have tapped it because I had to go opposite lock, so it could have been a little bit noticed by the marshals, but there's certainly no warning or anything, so good to race on. So that does put us in 6th position right now, so we are currently in the money. However, as any racer would know, we always want to get that one more and try and get on the podium. So we do skip a little bit ahead, not too much time has passed, maybe 2-3 laps, which again that's maybe 3 minutes. So we are on the bumper of 17. I have been watching him for a lap or two, so we're trying to keep our boost for the right times to see where we can make that edge. Now he wasn't using much of his boost down the straight, so I did save most of mine for here on this lap. So as we can see down the ramp, I am getting my thumb ready as I make a little bit of space, start pressing the boost about now. Now he is aware what I was going to do. Now I try and go around the outside, which doesn't quite work, but we have put him off position. As we can see, I'm using all the track. Again, he's going too tight, which is going to slow him down. We've got more boost, we're able to get that overtake done, and since he's on the outside, we do go that little bit defensive, but we can see I don't need to use much boost going into this corner, so we should have more than enough to defend this that little bit longer. So we are now down at 5th position. Can we catch the Karts in front? Now, I won't actually bore you. There was around about 9 minutes of pretty much nothing. Head down, trying to catch Morgan in front. We are still in 5th position, and we've got a gap from the Karts behind. Now, the Karts in front are starting to catch each other up. That's 1st and 2nd position, which normally means there's going to be maybe some last positions changing because somebody wants to win that trophy, which might allow us the time to catch up. Now, if you have made it this far in the video, I do appreciate if you smash that like button. It certainly does help this channel grow. Even drop a comment down below, even if just a thumbs up, it certainly helps. And if you haven't already, do consider subscribing. I do try and get a video out every 1 to 2 weeks of karting content, but do leave a comment if there's anything specific you want to see. So as we're coming into the last laps, we just need to make sure that we get our head down, because as you've seen in previous videos, anything can happen. So we want to make sure we can capitalise on that, but we are pretty safe for qualifying in this one. Now I may as well give you the heads up. The reason what the bombshell is, I can't actually do regionals because it does clash with a date at Warden Law, and we want to make sure that we do get that nice prize. As much as we would love to compete in the BIKC this year, I'm unable to. However, we may be tagging along with some of the others that qualified, and we're going to have a trip to Warrington for maybe a little bit of practice and see a different track on the calendar. So keep an eye out for that video when we get that done. It is hard to tell, but we are slowly catching Morgan up here, and he is definitely catching the car up in front of him. Now if we look a little bit ahead, we can see Josh Shaw is currently winning it. Although, just as I've said this, now then we look ahead, it's Lewis winning it. So he must have made a lovely move to actually get that done, which means we're closing up against the pack. So it must be very close to the end of the race. We're trying to keep an eye on the marshals, see if they're getting ready for the checkered flag, which is normally to our left. We can see someone in orange, which means as we cross the start finish line here, they are waving the checkered flag. So at least we do finish down in 5th. It maybe wasn't exciting for the last part of the race. Now I hope you enjoyed the video back at Newcastle TeamSport, especially since it is that little bit of a different track than used to seeing, and especially might be nice because this is normally the track where you get on non-members nights, so this is the one you'll usually be on if you are visiting. Now that's everything for this video. If you have enjoyed it, please drop that like, but I will see you on the track next time.